This podcast is produced by the Harwood Productions Podcast Network. To learn more about the network and to find more of our shows, visit us online at www.harwoodpodcast.com. Hey there everyone, I'm Cameron Harris. This is the show where we're going to be learning how to take advantage of all the great resources that the internet has to offer. Learning, entertainment, shopping, it's all online, and we're going to learn how to use them. This is Internet for Everyone. Hey there everyone, and welcome back to Internet for Everyone, episode number 4. I'm Cameron Harris, and today we're going to be talking about the back button and the forward button. Now these are buttons that are actually in your browser. Every single browser on the planet has them, and what they do is they help you move backwards and forwards in your browsing history. So if you go from one page to another page and want to get back to that first page, you can just use the back button or the forward button to get there. Let me show you how. So let's just go ahead and launch our web browser here. If you're on a Mac, just check out Safari. If you're on a PC, you'll be using Internet Explorer or whatever web browser you have installed. And the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to go up to our address bar up here, and we'll just go to http://www.harwoodpodcast.com and hit the return key. And now we've loaded up our home page. This is our personal home page. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use a technique that we learned in the last episode on how to find and use links. And we'll just click on a link here. Let's check out, let's go to over in here, check out our shows. Let's see here, the cookie jar. Let's go to this link here. It changes color when we mouse over it, so we know that that's a link. Click on it once. And here we are at the cookie jar page. We can scroll through it a little bit here. Very nice. Now, let's say we wanted to get back to the page we were just on. Now, there's a couple ways you could do this. The first way, of course, would be to search around the page and look for a link back to the home page. And in this case, there is a link right here. But there isn't always a link back to the page you were just on. Or if you go to different websites and you want to get back to the last website you were on, there's certainly not going to be a link for that. So if that's the case, you're kind of stuck, right? Well, no, you're not actually. There are some great features built into every single web browser out there that really help you browsing the internet. And they're usually in the top left-hand corner on both Mac and PC. The top left-hand corner of the window, you see these guys right here. 2 arrows, one pointing to the left, one pointing to the right. It's not going to always look exactly like this, but you will see 2 arrows pointing left and right up in the top left-hand corner, most likely. These are called the back and forward buttons. And what they do is they sort of take you back, move you backwards and forwards in your history. So, for example, if I click the arrow pointing to the left, left will take you backwards, and right will take you forwards. So if I click the left button or the back button, you can see that the page takes me back to the Harwood Podcast homepage. Now let's say I wanted to move forward back to that page that I was just on again. Then I can just click the right button and that takes me back to the cookie jar page. So if you think of the web pages that you're viewing as a timeline, the left and right arrow keys are moving you left and right or backwards and forwards in that timeline. That's a very good way of thinking about it. But this is very useful because it works not just for the last web page you visited, but you can keep clicking the back button. So for example, let's say we're at the cookie jar homepage. Let's say we click on this link down here, the cinnamon pecan shortbread. That looks really good. We can click on that. Very good. And maybe we go to the brown sugar blondies right here. We click there. Very nice. Now let's use the back button to go back to that page we were just on. Click it once, takes us back to the shortbread. But if we click it again, takes us back to the cookie jar, click it again, it takes us back to the home page. There is really no limit as to how far back the back button can take you. And same thing with the forward button. Just keep clicking forward, takes me to the cookie jar, cinnamon pecan shortbread, brown sugar blondies. Works very, very well. The one thing you do have to remember is that if you quit your web browser by going to, in this case, going up to Safari and then quit Safari, my web browser is closed. If I go back and launch it again by going down to the dock and clicking Safari, or clicking on the double-clicking on the Internet Explorer icon on your desktop, and then go back to the Harwood Podcast homepage here, you'll notice that the back button no longer works, because once you quit the web browser, it forgets where you were. So if you quit your web browser, the backwards and forward buttons don't work for the whatever you were browsing before you quit it. So as you can see, the forward and back buttons are really very useful and pretty simple to use too. The one thing you have to keep in mind is that they forget the web pages that you visited every single time you quit the browser. There's no real way around that, just something to keep in mind. Now until next time, if you want to visit us online, you can visit us at harwoodpodcast.com. And if you have any questions or comments for me, you can send me an email at cameron@harwoodpodcast.com. Happy browsing, everyone.